by saying good morning and thank you for joining the School Memory Box Shop during this Facebook Live. This is my first real Facebook Live training, so I'm excited about it. I wanted to start with the School Memory Box collection box. This is a part that often gets overlooked, but it's one of the most important things you can do when you're organizing your child's school papers. So you have a box, and our School Memory Box system comes with a collection box label, but you can make your own. The school collection box should be somewhere where you normally sort papers. So wherever they're putting their book bags, their folders, because after you display it for a little while on the refrigerator or on a bulletin board, you want to put all their school papers in the collection box. This is very, very important. Then you don't have papers all over your house. You have them all in one place. So the collection box is essential. If you're skipping this step, the system probably won't work for you. So you must have a collection box, and one for each child. Because if you have, say you have 5 children in one collection box, you'll have all of their work all in one place. It'll be difficult for you to sort. So you want to try to have one collection box for each child, labeled, and leave it with no top on it. You don't want anything deterring you from using the collection box, and sometimes just the simple taking a lid on and off is a problem. So you need to have the collection box labeled, and you need to have no top on it. So after you display it in the kitchen, after you take papers from the folder to the collection box, you just throw it in there. You don't have to remove a lid. I have 2 children, so I keep both of mine in the laundry room because that's very convenient for me. I throw it up there. I don't think about it until the end of the school year, again, going through it. So I only go through it, end of the school year, maybe once in a while when I put something in there, maybe a permission slip that I didn't look at, I know it's in the collection box if I didn't take it directly out of the folder. So collection box is very important. Here you have all of the papers that I was talking about. Now, I counted them just for the purpose of this Facebook Live. There are 750, give or take a few, papers in the collection box. So for the first time, we actually went through the collection box with my kindergartner. So he's 5 years old. Normally, I would just do this myself. I go through the box, keep everything that I think is very special. But this time, since he's getting a little bit older, so you have to gauge your child's maturity level, I said, let's go through the box together. And you don't want to start by saying we're going to throw things out. We're going to decide what to get rid of. Really focus on, we're going to decide what things we want to keep long term from this year, from this school year. So focus on what you want to keep, not what you're trying to discard or get rid of. So that's how we framed it. And when I say we, my husband, my younger daughter, and my son, we all met together. We took the collection box. Everybody took a stack, went through it, looked for little special things that he did throughout the year. And the final amount that we kept is all in this folder. And this folder is labeled, I don't know if it's hard to see, but it says kindergarten on it. So these are only things that we kept out of this whole entire collection box. We only kept the amount of things in this folder. So in the beginning, also during this time, it probably took us about a half an hour to narrow it down to just these things in the folder. But we also took the time to interview him about his kindergarten experience. So we have the school year, his favorite teacher, which he only had 2 teachers, so those, and maybe some specials like gym and chorus and art. So, but his favorite teachers were his primary teachers. His favorite subject was math. Best friend, he had 6 of them, and I would only have thought he had 1, so that was good to get that out of him. So I wrote that on there. His favorite memories, this is what he said, was learning more and more, playing with friends. But I added on there where he went for his first field trip, that he learned to play a lot of games, checkers, Connect 4, and Uno. Those were new things that we didn't teach him at home. He is in an after-school program, so he learned that there. And just some funny things that he did throughout the school year. So that's his cover page, and I printed out his picture and added it to the top. And I'll show you some other things we decided to keep long term. Anytime his name was in the newsletter, I highlighted it and stapled it together, so we kept those. Any of his progress reports and report cards, we kept those. If his name was on, if he had work on the bulletin board, the teacher made a note of it, and so any time, I think it was about 5 times this school year, so I kept all of those. We're in Atlanta, so the Atlanta Falcons went to the Super Bowl this year, and he wrote, "I want the Falcons to win." So I'm keeping this because long term, I don't know when they're going back, and this was a big deal in our family. Then we have a few special worksheets. The first day of school, their theme was Little Monsters, and some other just general worksheets, but no duplicates. So if there were a lot of duplicates in here, I got rid of them, or I'm going to decide to discard them if they did the same kind of task. This was on the 100th day of school. He wrote his friends and drew a picture. Paw Patrol is one of his favorites, so he colored these. I'm keeping those. His family, so he has a picture of his family. I'm keeping that. All About Me, that's pretty special. He talked about his family, my house, favorite food, and what he wants to be when he grows up. This is another 100-year shot of him, what he thinks he would look like at 100 years old. So I thought that was funny. He got Artist of the Week for this picture. It was his first watercolor, and I stapled where the teacher gave him a pass to come for something special. This is his Thanksgiving handprint. That's a keeper. His self-portrait. I think he's pretty tall and kind of funny, so I like this. He wrote something about mom for Mother's Day, and it's laminated. So you always want to keep things that are laminated. And we had a really great kindergarten teacher this year. And she did, at the end of the year, she had everybody write about each student. And then she put a book together, and he received this at the end of the year. So that's definitely a keeper. Kindergarten fun. She also was great. She put this book together, so she kind of organized it for me. He drew that, and then she took a picture of him on the first day and on the last day of school, and in between were some things he said that he wanted to be when he grew up, how much he grew, what his favorite subject was. So this is a great thing to keep. He also received some awards this year, so I put those in this folder. So he'll have like Super Speller, Fantastic Four, just different awards he received at school this school year. So that's really a great thing to keep. And that's really it. So these are the things that we're really going to treasure for his kindergarten year. We put them in the folder. And then from the folder, we put them in the boxes you see behind you in the school memory box. And the school memory box is already set up. It has all of the labels from toddler year to kindergarten, extracurriculars, school papers. So we just take this, put it in here after pre-K. And what you'll find, because I have this amount already filled, that you still have a lot of room in here. And kindergarten is probably when you're going to get the most amount of drawings and writing, because they practice on, trying to build those fundamentals. But high school, middle school, you're not going to get as many papers, so you definitely have enough. So this one box should take you from toddler years to the kindergarten years very easily. And if you have any questions, you can add it in the comments. I wanted to share, because a lot of parents will ask me, well, what do you do with the big things? So say your child does a school project, science project, history project, whatever, and they have one of those big boards. My suggestion, number one, I say don't keep it unless it's something that they're going to use again, maybe present it nationally or something. Don't keep it. Take a picture of them at the event or before or after, and then put it in your family year in review. And I'll probably do another Facebook Live training about the year in review and how that works. But if he did something major, a project, he would have a picture in this book detailing, or not detailing, but just kind of preserving that memory for the family that year. And I just wanted to show you what a page might look like. So he graduated from pre-K at the end of last year. Yes, end of last year. So he has a page just dedicated to his pre-K graduation. So we won't forget that. Alrighty, thank you for joining me for Facebook Live. If you want to buy the School Memory Box system, it is on sale this weekend only, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just use promo code Facebook3. Promo code Facebook3. And if you have any questions about the School Memory Box system, just drop it in the comments and I will be sure to answer it at some point this weekend, today, tomorrow, or Sunday. Thank you very much for joining me.